social media works wonders in radio as well as everywhere else. So I wanted to thank you, my ACORAB colleagues, for inviting me here, and recognize all of our dignitaries for all of their hard work in radio and in keeping radio alive and going. Radio has been going for 100 years, and for at least 99 years, everyone's been saying radio's dead. But here we are. We're very strong, and I have to say, community radio is probably the most important radio in the media landscape, because it reaches everybody. It reaches into every corner of every community, in every language, and it speaks to people in the way that they need to hear. So, well done, and thank you for serving your audiences so well. And I just got a few remarks, not very long, I won't bore you, don't worry. But I've just come back from an event that we organized in Europe between European broadcasters, Asian broadcasters, and African broadcasters. And I just wanted to tell you that the problems that they have around the world is very much the same as the problems you have here. So don't worry, you're not alone. And everyone is worried about sustainability. So it's not sustainability, not just about the climate, but about everything from systems to governance to organizational, financial viability, technology, also environment, also climate change, peace, everything that combines to have a sustainable future for us, our media, our listeners, our communities, our countries, and our planet. First and foremost, the challenge is audiences for everybody. Okay? In our case, listeners. How do we understand them? How do we engage them? How do we keep them? And how we don't lose them to commercial media or social media? And how do we do that? And the answer is probably a little bit more obvious than we think. One of our experts said, we report too much and explain too little. Okay? It's a very important point, because it's our job to engage our listeners by using our creativity to explain to listeners what the issues are, not to tell them what to do. Okay? He gave an example of a multimedia series in Europe called The Blue Planet, where 80% of the people who saw that program said that they would change their habits. The program inspired them to change their behavior. So if we seek to educate and are creative and include important issues in our drama, then we can overcome the challenges of people not being interested or thinking that it's somebody else's problem. And it's not just a problem in Europe, it's also a problem in our region. In Turkey, for example, they're talking about how people are really tired of news. They don't want to hear news because it's always bad news. So what is the broadcasters doing there? They're looking for ways on putting news on different platforms and doing it in a way that attracts their audiences. So they are actually putting in news that is positive and that it's structured around helping people understand